while you're skating, taking this path here is the shortest way around the track, but the problem with skating here and then going here and then trying to hold this tight line is that once you get to this point here, you basically have to do a 90-degree turn. So now all the speed that you built up in these turns here and in this straightaway, you have to now scrub off in order to hold this corner as much as possible. So that's why you see all the really good skaters, you see them skating this part of what they call the groove. So that would mean skating out here and then taking this line here to the inside of the track. And then you're doing your strokes, or you're pushing here, 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 here. So you're trying to continue this, and you're going to come back out again to the outside of the track, out of balance line, skating here, and then diving in this way here. So this way here, you can keep your speed up by getting your crossovers in. All your power comes from your crossovers. It doesn't come in the straightaways. It's all out of the excuse me, out of the turns. So as you're going into those turns, you can hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, build up your speed, and you're crossing over, crossing over, crossing over. You might coast, you know, about this area here for half a second or so going into this turn, but then once you hit this turn, this is where you start skating. Okay? Stride and crossovers. Stride and crossovers are going to happen here, right around that section there, as much as you can. So if you start skating this in a circle, a continuous circle will allow you to cross over, cross over, cross over, and keep crossing over. If you start skating it straight, like the track is built, you're skating it this way, you're doing your strides or your crossovers here, 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 dot, 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 and you try and push down the straightaway. All the speed you built up right here is now going to have to go like this, which doesn't really work. So you want to be able to take that speed that you just built up, and you want to transfer that into the rest of the track. So you're going to build up that speed here, coming in close to the inside line, crossing over, crossing over, crossing over, crossing over as much as you can. That way when you get to this point here, you're still on a circle. So you're cutting this track, you're basically taking this track, turning it into a giant circle as opposed to a big, long, elliptical oval. So this is how you want to skate that. While you're skating and doing your challenge, you want to go into a nice, easy pace, something you can maintain for quite some time, and then have enough energy at the end so you can sprint when you need it. You don't want to burn it all off at the first part of your takeoff or at your start, because you're going to get lactic lockup. In other words, your muscles are going to get all swollen and tight, and you're going to die really fast. So here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to take this big long track that you see all the time, pivot line, jammer line. You want to take all this, which goes straight, around, straight again, and around. You're going to cut all that out by making this a giant circle and crossing over, crossing over, crossing over as much as you can. The more your legs move, the faster you're going to go. It's just physics. If you stop moving your legs, you will slow down. You won't go any faster. So the more you can move your legs, the more you can get momentum, build momentum, the faster you're going to go, the longer you're going to go. So that's how you're going to skate a track. If you're on a bank track, same thing applies for the most part. There's also a groove on the bank track that a lot of people skate. Some people skate the straightaways, and you can get away with that. Not everything works for everybody the exact same way. So on a bank track, similar thing. With a bank track, your corners are going to come up here and here. Now, one thing I learned when I skated bank track, and I was taught by the old school skaters, is that that groove lies right here, same as what we did on the flat track. You're going to come out here. You're going to skate. You're going to coast into this part of the turn. The reason you coast in here is to keep the speed you built up back here. You coast right here. And now when you're coasting on a bank track we're talking about now, when you're coasting here, you're now coasting into an uphill wall. You don't want to push into an uphill wall because you're going uphill against the grain, out of the track. You want to hold it, you want to drop to the inside here because you're coming off of an incline, which is out here. Off the incline, down here. Once you get to the bottom of that hill or right at the apex of the turn, then you start skate. Crossover, 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 crossover. Okay, all the way out here. And then you might hold it for a little bit. When you get to this point here, you dive in. Once you get to this point here, crossover, 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 crossover. And then coast for a second, dive in, start crossing over. So you're usually crossing over right before the apex or just a little after the apex. That way you're pushing off of a wall that's going downhill. If you start doing your crossovers or your strides going up here, you're running uphill one and into a wall. So imagine that this straightaway here is going into a turn, and this is the bank of your bank track. You're skating in here. Now if you're skating, 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 the power you just get, you're gonna skate right uphill, okay, into a wall. But if you're skating this way, you dive in, you're at the lowest part, so it's not a lot of force energy being wasted, and the wall is now coming down here. So when you get to this point here, you can actually push against the wall, pushing away from the wall, not pushing yourself into the wall. So imagine this part of the track here, or if we built a track here, okay, so as you see right here, this is where you're skating. You're going to come out here, and you're going to dive down to the bottom of the track. Okay, because this is your hill. There's your wall. This is your hill. Going down. You want to push away from that hill. You want to run away from that hill so you can get as much power as you can pushing out of the hill. Here, push, push, push against the wall. You're going to bring yourself out here again. And you're going to dive in here, and you're going to coast. You're going to feel the groove as you get in there, and then when you get to this point here, start pushing away from that wall, because you're getting away from that wall, you're pushing into it. You're not pushing yourself up the hill into the wall, you're pushing away from the wall at the bottom. So pushing away to get away here. Push, push, cross, 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 climb up to the top, and then here, and then dive. And then a couple of moves here. Skate, 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 hold it, and then dive. Skate, 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 skate. Now you can push a little bit on the straightaways if you need it, but this is the most efficient way to get you around the track. Not a whole lot of work, and you get a lot of power, a lot of speed out of that, and you can maintain it. If you're pushing down the straightaway a lot of time, and you come to the inside, that means all the speed you just built up, once again, all the speed you built up on this straightaway, here, 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 you now have to try and control so you can make it around this tight turn. The only place you're going to go is up here, and then come down. But now you're covering more track, which means you're going to take more time to get around the track. So, do it my way, because I know what I'm talking about, kind of.